Hey everyone, quick video to talk about the Canadian World Juniors team. We're going to talk about the roster prediction, as you guys can see on the screen. I'm going to go through it quickly. Also going to talk about the Leafs win over the St. Louis Blues, some trade rumors. There's a lot of stuff specifically coming out of the Nashville Predators, so we're going to talk about that. If you're a new subscriber, welcome, with that like button, notification bell, comment, all that good stuff. But yeah, different debuts also happened. Troy Stecher made his Toronto Maple Leafs debut. Jacob Quillen also got called up to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Good debut. David Kampf made his debut with the Vancouver Canucks, so a few debuts around the National Hockey League. We're also going to talk about Troy Stecher's comments about the Edmonton Oilers and their fire, as he called it. But just quickly for Team Canada, guys, I have Gavin McKenna with Berkeley, Catton, and Hage. Hage and McKenna, the college scene right now. Hage, Habs fans are so excited about him. He's likely going to be a center, true center, but as you can see on this list, like Catton, Hage, Luchenko, O'Brien, Bodwin, Coots, Reshny. There's so many, and Brady Martin, add him to the list. There's so many natural centers that are probably going to make this team that some guys are going to have to play on the wing. So I have Catton with the NHL experience playing with Hage and potentially upcoming first overall pick Gavin McKenna. Liam Greentree with some good size with two Flyers prospects. I think the Flyers and Utah Mammoth would be happy with Team Canada if they partnered their prospects together, and I think there's a potential that could happen. So Luchenko and Martone, Flyers prospects together, and with Greentree, and then Vanacker and O'Brien, Bulldogs, they're playing together with the Bulldogs, and they should play together on Team Canada. That chemistry. Jake O'Brien, one of the best playmakers in terms of this team and the prospects out there. He could be with Carbonneau, who's got 18 goals in 18 games in the queue. I think Carbonneau would be a perfect fit next to Jake O'Brien, and then you have the natural chemistry of Vanacker, who's a power forward. Tija Ginla with Bodwin and Coots. Bodwin and Ginla, as I mentioned, Utah prospects. I think that's a really good balance of some playmaking, some physicality, scoring as well in that line. Brady Martin's had a bit of a slow start in the O, returning back from the Nashville Predators, so I think we'll see. We'll see his production by the time December rolls around. I think he makes the team, but we'll see about where his role is with the team. I could see him starting in the first 12, but we'll see. And Aitchison and Parekh, that would be such a great explosive top pair. I think Aitchison brings obviously the physicality and the mobility, while Parekh brings the offensive mobility and overall puck possession. Chase Reeves had such a good start to the season. You could put him with Brunick, and then Protz and Danford, two more Bulldogs. Oh my God, if the Team Canada has 5 Brantford Bulldogs making it. Yes, I have Ryerson Leanders as the third goalie. He was a 7th-round pick to the Buffalo Sabres. He's had a really good season, and of course the Bulldogs are one of the favorites, if not the favorite, for the Memorial Cup at this point. But George and Ivan Kovic, I think, are the top 2 guys. I think that's pretty, there's not much of a doubt in terms of those guys being the 1-2 punch. It's just who's number 1. But to close out, the reason why, guys, I don't have Veerhoff in the top 6 as it's listed, I mean, it's more just the left shot versus the right shot. I know that's a dumb reason, but I just look at the experience of Danford and the defensive ability he brings, the two-way ability. Brunick's played NHL games this year, and Parekh getting his action in the NHL. I think just with that aspect, those are your 3 right shot. Veerhoff's going to get an opportunity to play in this tournament. I think they're going to do some cycling. If they want to play Parekh on his offside, I think that could be the excuse to put Parekh on his offside and then get Veerhoff next to like a guy like Owen Protz or Aitchison. So that could make some sense, but in my opinion, that's your top 7 defense that are making Team Canada the World Juniors. Just a few other things, guys, quickly to talk about. David Pagnotta and other people are talking about watch out for the Nashville Predators. Brian Hayes on TSN also brought it up. Like Philip Forsberg, that's a massive name, guys. Just because he plays in Nashville, he's not talked about enough. That is a massive name. So keep an eye out for Philip Forsberg. But other names, O'Reilly, Bunting, Holla, as he mentions. This one popped up from Leafs Nation. Imagine Michelli for Bunting. That would be really interesting. Bringing Bunting back into the fold where he's familiar with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Put Bunting next to either Tavares, Nylander, or next to Matthews and Nyes. I think that could be a really good fit. He has the familiarity. I think the Leafs liked what they had in Bunting. Obviously, the suspension of the playoffs can't happen, but he's a guy that steps up and plays that physical nature. I would honestly prefer a bigger swap where it's like, you send Michelli, Dakota Joshua, and a draft pick or 2 to Nashville. Nashville wants to collect those picks. They want to go through a retool. And then you bring Bunting to Toronto. It's a little bit more cap individually for Bunting. But if you're sending Michelli and Joshua, that's about combined $6 to $7 million. And then you bring $4.5 million back for Bunting. So something like that could make a lot of sense. And then just overall, like I said, the Troy Stecher debut, it was great, right? Like a good start, shot attempts and overall possession were in his favor when he was on the ice. The defense for the Leafs have been so bad that Stecher was kind of a fresh look, especially over Phil Myers. So, as you can see, we'll scroll down. I saw it somewhere here. Yeah. So Stetcher was talking, I guess, to Mike Johnson, and he said he just left the Fire, which is kind of crazy. So, yeah, I think overall the Leafs are in a better spot with Phil Myers out of the lineup. And then this was the initial reaction of Zane Parekh the intention of loaning him to Team Canada from the Calgary Flames. So that's great for Team Canada. Also, guys, the Leafs defense core, as I talked about, they are actually contributing a lot more. So everyone criticizing Morgan Riley and Oliver Ekman-Larsson, you know what? Around the league, some teams and some fan bases are begging for that kind of offense from their defense, and the Leafs are getting it to start the season. So with all the issues and all the defensive issues in terms of the defensive guys on this team, the Toronto Maple Leafs are getting offense from their top two offensive D-man, who are not supposed to be playing as solid defense as some other guys in the core, like a Jake McCabe. So give me your thoughts, guys. I think there's going to be potentially a lot of trades coming up, specifically from a team like Nashville and St. Louis. I think the Preds and Blues are two teams to watch. The Blues just lost against the Leafs. They did get a point in that game, but Leafs, Blues, Preds, Sabres, like a lot of these teams are involved in the trade talk right now, so keep an eye on that. Subscribe, like, comment, notification bell. Let me know your thoughts on Team Canada's World Junior team. If you're watching this video and you've stayed till this point, let me know if you want me to predict Team USA's World Juniors or just talk about some of the US prospects out there. I can do that as well. The Canada just comes so naturally to me because I've been watching the CHL really closely, especially the OHL. So thanks. Hope to see you guys in the next video or stream. Have a good one. Peace.